So as many of you already know, I am not great at YouTube. My setup is not very good. Uh, but this is what it looks like. The aftermath of 3,000 booster packs that got opened yesterday during stream. It is holy buckets. It's a nightmare. Oh my goodness, look at all those packs. They're like, they're floating everywhere. It's terrible. It is terrible. Holy buckets, what is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday. It is December 29th, 2022. And we, yesterday we streamed for almost 13 hours. It was 12 and a half hours. We opened about 3,000 booster packs. We had some major hits. It was so much fun. We pulled the Giratina alternate art. We pulled the Aerodactyl alternate art. We pulled the Rayquaza alternate art. The Tyranitar. Overall, we pulled 15 alternate arts. But not only did we pull those, we pulled the Rainbow Rare Charizard VMAX from Champion's Path. We pulled the Marnie from Shiny Star V. We pulled the Alessis Sparkle from V-Star Universe and the Irida from V-Star Universe. It was absolutely Liddy? Is that what they say? Liddy? Liddy. It was Liddy. It was amazing. It was so much fun. We didn't even come close to our subscriber goal. And that, who cares, right? Who cares? This is the end of sub-begging Fanny Phantump because 2022 is done. We are moving into 2023. We're going to have a lot of fun. If you like the content, hit subscribe. If you don't like the content, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. We're going to have a bunch of fun analyzing the market. 2023 is going to be an absolute banger of a year. I am so excited. I'm really, really pumped. So we're going to continue giving stuff away. Make sure to click in the description down below. Join the Discord. We're going to be focusing on your collection goals and doing whatever we can to help you achieve them in 2023. It's going to be an absolute blast. With that being said, we're going to talk about Chilling Reign today because Chilling Reign is out of control. Chilling Reign is losing its mind. And a lot of it is due to content creators kind of pushing it. But at the same time, it's due to the fact that it's just not available anymore. You can't find it in collection boxes as much anymore. It's not really readily available in tins or things that you'll buy from the store because it's over a year old. It's closing in on a year and a half in age. I think it might already be at a year and a half in age. So those packs are being kind of circulated out. So you're going to see a lot of stuff like Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, even some Brilliant Stars still. But stuff like Chilling Reign, not so much in those collection boxes anymore. And since distributors have really no booster boxes in stock without any idea of when reprints are coming, Chilling Reign is moving up really, really fast. So we're going to look at the market, some alternate art, some cards that are actually still not too bad as far as pricing goes. But we're going to start out looking at the booster box right here. I don't know why this high and low is all messed up. The high is actually 121.63 with the low being right around $86. I must not have changed the price point, but you can see on the graph here how it's done over the past year. And for the most part, it stayed relatively consistent, right? For the first half of the year, January all the way up until June, you can find it hovering right around that $86, $87 mark until June hits. And then it goes up to that $100 mark. And then it stays consistently at that until it dips down right around that $86 mark again at the beginning of November. And then skyrockets, shoots off like absolute madness. And you can see it hovered at 105 for a couple of weeks before taking off again. Now it's sitting at 121.63 as a one-year high and continuing to grow from there. When I was looking at listings on TCG Player, not a whole lot available. So if you can find booster box cases, if you can find booster boxes of Chilling Reign at a decent price, might be something you want to start looking at. We don't know what reprint schedule is going to look like. We know that this is going to stay in standard format for at least another year, but definitely something you want to keep an eye out on as it hovers closer and closer to MSRP. Remember, MSRP for booster box of Chilling Reign right around the $144. So you want to find something at least cheaper than that, right? Like that's the main goal. If we look at the alternate arts, some real amazing cards in Chilling Reign. A lot of tough pull rates. People complain about the pull rates. Pull rates are the same as what we've seen from all the Sword and Shield sets. The problem is there's over 100 ultra rares in Chilling Reign, and that might be what makes the set more desirable in the future because this is the biggest set in the entire Sword and Shield block when it comes to ultra rares. This is actually the toughest master set to pull in all of Sword and Shield. A lot of people think it's Fusion Strike because there's more cards, but the more cards are made up of extra commons, uncommons, holo rares, things like that, whereas this set, most ultra rares. Ultra rares being the hardest card to pull. You have over 15 alternate arts in this, including some VMAX secret rare alternate arts like what we're looking at right here with the Blaziken V VMAX, toughest set to pull. And the Blaziken VMAX, one of the best, if not the best, arguably very close to the top alternate arts in all of the Sword and Shield blocks. Some people say, well, I'll say the Machamp because I love the Machamp, or the Umbreon. But Blaziken looks absolutely amazing. Look at it, like practicing its jujitsu or its karate right there on the rooftop with the Inteleon line kind of hanging out in the background. Really, really cool looking. But you can see 9401 was the low point. I wish I would have bought it back then. Holy buckets, that's way cheaper than what it's at now. That was in March of 2022. Stayed consistently right around that $100 mark pretty much through the entirety of 2022 up until September when it took off. And you can see it sitting at 166.15 currently, which is a one-year high for this product. Continues to grow. It looks like it's leveled off a little bit right now, but continues to go upward. Very hard card to pull because it is a secret rare alternate art. Then we've got Galarian Moltres, which had a little bit of a spike in April where it jumped up to about $110 before coming back down a little bit, leveling off at around $100 all the way throughout until November. Its one-year low of $80.71. It hit in January of 2022, but you can see at a one-year high right now, 135.53, continuing to climb. Leveled off a little bit now over the last month or so, but continuing to head in that upward direction. A fan favorite for a lot of different people, the Galarian Moltres. Then we've got, this is like the only gold the only gold Pokemon card that has value associated with it. There is not a whole lot of gold Pokemon cards throughout the entirety of the Sword and Shield block. None of them are even close to the Snorlax. The Snorlax is huge compared to all these other ones. It's sitting at $81.38 right now, which is actually not a one-year high for it. It's one-year high, $87.38. That was back in February of 2022. You can see it consistently going down all the way up until September, when then finally it started shooting back up. So now it's sitting at $81.38, closer to its one-year high than its one-year low of $70.10. Definitely moving in the upward direction. But it's very interesting to see this gold card. Gold cards are very tough to pull. This gold card is so much higher than all the other gold cards throughout the Sword and Shield block. Then we've got this Zeraora V next. This is a beautiful artwork. It's done. It has grown tremendously over the last couple months. You can see its one-year low sitting around $42.18. That was in June of 2022. It stayed very consistently right around that $40, $45 mark pretty much throughout the majority of the year until September, where it really took off. And that's where a lot of alternate arts really started getting bought out. And sitting at $67.19 currently, which is really close to its one-year high of $67.96, which it just recently hit. Continues to climb, and I can't really blame it. It's a beautiful artwork on this Zeraora, continuing to head in the upward direction. Then we've got the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, another secret rare, a little bit more difficult to pull. Kind of see it starting to climb a little bit back, where it lost quite a bit in August of 2022. It dropped down to $44.25. That's its one-year low. Still not at its one-year high, which it was actually at in January of 2022 when it was at $65.10. Dropped down consistently throughout the entire year again until it hit about September, October. Then it started climbing up a little bit, sitting at $57.71 currently. Then we've got the Galarian Zapdos V. We actually pulled two of these yesterday on stream. Absolutely beautiful card. The Roadrunner background, really, really neat. Dropped all the way down to $39.29 at one point in time. That was in July of 2022 before starting to get that uptick back. It hit a one-year high in November of 2022 where it jumped up to $62.72. It's leveled off a little bit over the last couple months now. It's gone back down a little bit, so it's sitting at $55.16. Still closer to that one-year high than the one-year low, but continuing to be in the upward trajectory. We'll see if it levels off and then kind of goes back up a little bit in the future here. We've got another secret rare VMAX card, the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, kind of up and down all over the place. It hit a one-year high in June of 2022. That was $47.69. You're only looking about 20% of movement on this card over the past year. In August, it dropped down to a one-year low of $39.39. Now it's much closer to that one-year high again, sitting at $47.11. You've got a little trend downwards right now. We'll see if that levels off over the next few weeks and kind of starts going back up again. But another hard to pull card because it is a secret rare VMAX. Very good artwork. Same thing with this Galarian Articuno, and this one has seen a much more natural progression throughout the entirety of the year. You can see in February it hit a one-year low of $33.39. 33. That almost seems criminal for this card because it is so good looking. But I think a lot of people opened a lot of Chilling Rain packs. They kind of got sick of the set, kind of got burned out of Chilling Reign for a while, which is why it fell out of favor. They moved on to Evolving Skies or other sets, especially with the Trainer Gallery. But you can see really starting to kind of grow naturally, organically. Unlike those other alternate art cards that we looked at that just kind of shot up and took off like crazy, this one, much slower progression. You can see it hit a 1-year high in November of 2022. That was 48.59. It's backed off a little bit, sitting at 45.84 currently, but still much closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low. I love this artwork. I love the Galarian Rapidash. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see a larger progression, a larger gain much earlier. The graph is a little messed up, but you can see the 1-year low of 31.59 kind of happening right at the beginning of August before kind of taking off in September, like many of these other alternate arts that we've looked at. Jumped up to 45.39. That was at the beginning of November. Then it's backed off a little bit again, now sitting at $43.91, still closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low. The Galarian Slowking V, this one dropped all the way down to $20.42 at the beginning of March. That's kind of where it stayed, right around that $20-$25 mark throughout the entirety of the year, all the way up until September. And then, like a lot of the alternate arts, took off, where you can see in September to October, just huge gains where it jumped 50%, really fast, sitting at $40.60 right now. That's just off of a 1-year high of $41.72, which it hit at the beginning of December. Then we've got the Blissey V, same story, different card. Really took off at the beginning of November. You can see it hovering right around that $22 mark for the majority of the year. It did hit a 1-year low in February where it dropped down to $19.48, but a really cool looking artwork card, jumped all the way up to $35.12. That's where it's sitting right now. That's a 1-year high for that card. Then we've got the Shadow Rider Calyrex V, a little bit more of an affordable alternate art. You can see it hit a 1-year low in September of 2022 where it hit $19.70, right around $25 the majority of the year, going down a little bit in August, right around that $22 mark, and then dropped below $20 in August through September where it hit $19.70. Then it jumped up again in September, all the way up to $33.22 for a 1-year high. That was at the beginning of November. I kind of hovered at that point for a little bit, backed off a little bit in December, sitting at $32.68 currently. Then we've got the Tornadus V. This is a really cool artwork as well. Again, same story, different card. This is just madness how much Chilling Reign was impacted in the month of September. A lot of alternate arts really impacted in the month of September with buyouts and things like that, but stayed very consistently right around that $18 mark throughout the majority of the year. Dropped all the way down to $15.63 at the beginning of January, and then again in June before leveling off a little bit. And then September hit, boom, took off like a rocket. $31.30 is its 1-year high. That's where it's sitting at right now. That's where it's been at for the last month or so. And then we've got the Clara. This is the most expensive full art trainer in this set, and I wanted to highlight this because a lot of older trainers really kind of took off once sets rotated and things like that. So I wanted to look at a trainer or two. I don't remember how many I put in here, but $31.28 is the 1-year high for this card, which it hit in April of 2022 before backing off and going back down. However, its 1-year low, it actually hit in February, January, somewhere around there, $18.99. It's sitting at $25.55 right now, closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low, but starting to trend back upwards. Then we've got the Ice Rider Calyrex V. This one, not a whole lot of movement dollar-wise over the past year. You're looking at about only 20% in movement between its 1-year low and 1-year high. Its 1-year high it hit in January, at the beginning of February in 2022, before dropping down almost to a 1-year low. Just a lot of peaks and valleys right there, all the way up until September, when it started rising again. You can see it hit its 1-year low in September of $20.22 before jumping back up. Beginning of December is where it hit its 1-year high of $24.61. It's backed off a little bit, sitting at $22.30 currently. It looks like that's all that we are looking at for Chilling Reign. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Chilling Reign. If you like the set, a lot of people are saying right now, very underrated set. Very excited about Chilling Reign, especially for the future. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a long way for the algorithm. Subscribe if you want. Don't if you don't. But regardless, thank you so much for everything. This past year has been literally the time of my life. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about Evolving Skies sealed product. And then that is it. That's the last video for the year, because Sunday will be January 1st, and that'll be 2023. And who knows what will happen in 2023. It's going to be an absolute blast. Guys, until next time, I'll see you soon. Peace.